Is there something that drew you specifically into the El Camino? Was it just something that just was available, or how did you end up
I think
with
it was the challenge to compete with Camaros, Novas, and Chevelles with something that was considered a truck or a mullet. You know, it was kind of either liked them or you hated them.
Sure.
There wasn't no in between. Good morning.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Good morning.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Ohio.
And I see you got your, well, you got more than one Chevelle in here. And we're actually in Circleville, Ohio. And the reason we're here is because Bill actually has a whole bunch of parts at an older lady's house or something that her husband collected. Or what was the story on that?
Yeah, Bill Greeley, a good friend of mine from the teenage years, drag racing. We met at National Trail Raceway. And he passed about 8 years ago. Sadly, pancreatic cancer, and I've been helping, you know, go through the inventory. It's been an 8-year project and still ongoing, but yeah, big inventory.
What kind of parts should we be expecting at this place? I mean, is it Chevy parts, is it Ford parts, or just a little bit about everything?
It is everything from AMC, Buick, Olds, Pontiac, Ford, Chevy, Mopar, just it's an incredible collection.
You actually have some incredible cars yourself, and one of them being the LS6. I'm assuming that's this one right here with the paperwork on the hood. Is that right, Bill?
Yes, yes, sir.
What can you tell us about this car?
This car is an ex-drag car. It was drag raced in Peoria, Illinois area. It still has the aluminum American Racing wheels on it that was on it 30, 40 years ago.
Oh yeah, I see that it has some sort of lettering down the side here.
Yes, sir. The decals and the lettering has been somewhat removed, but it still has enough hint of some of the lettering that it still shows that it was, you know, a recognized drag car. Yeah.
Now, was this a local car to you, Bill, or no?
No, it was in Illinois.
Illinois.
It's an Illinois car, and I found a car in Wisconsin. A dairy farmer owned it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, after a year and a half's worth of talking and communicating, I finally got the car home.
Now, was this originally a Cortez Silver car?
It's shadow gray.
Oh, shadow gray.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha. Okay.
Shadow gray. It has 25,000 actual miles on it. It is original paint. That's,
I don't know if that comes across on camera, but oh, it is original paint, you said?
It is original paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it even cooler. It looks like it was just driven, you know, and preserved over time. And what are some of the paper? Oh, you have the build sheet for it.
Yeah, I've so far 2 build sheets have been located in the rear seat.
Yeah.
I wrote NCRS for the shipping information, and reason I did was because the shipping information is also provided on the build sheet in this location right here, Schumacher Chevrolet in Illinois, and then your 47 and your 588 is also mentioned here. So I, you know, even as being as skeptical as you possibly can be when you're buying these cars, you really want to check everything.
Absolutely.
So that was my thing in order to check the build sheet was to get the shipping data.
Make sure it was approved with the NCRS report.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they do for Baldwin Motion cars. A lot of people claim that they have Baldwin Motion cars, and Joel kind of keeps all the records secret. Well, he's not alive anymore, but you have to have the NCRS report with it to prove that it did go to Baldwin Motion originally. But the cool thing on this build sheet is that we're looking at it right here, and it says LS6 454. Mm-hmm. Now this car also had, looks like it had 410 Positrack gears. Mm-hmm. What are all the stuff? What's the stuff in the trunk of this car?
The stuff in the trunk, they actually used a super shifter by Hurst.
Okay.
So they removed the console, which was good, so they didn't have to butcher up the console. The original ring and pinion is in the box because they put a street gear back in the car for more drivability. The old original Stewart Warner fuel pumps you don't see anymore. That was common in the 70s and 80s. The original alternator. They actually, for drag racing, they installed the big pulley, but I was fortunate to still have the alternator and the original valve covers because they put tall valve covers on it because it has roller rockers and a stud girdle.
And is that the original console for it then too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I hate to ask this, but do you mind if we kind of clean up some of the paperwork on the front here and maybe take a look underneath the hood
sure,
about what makes
absolutely.
this thing so special? And I see that it did come with the cowl induction on this one as well. Now, you corrected me. You said shadow gray. Was there Cortez silver on 70 Chevelles?
Yes.
Okay, so this one's just a little bit darker then, is
Just
that
a
right?
shade, yeah, just a shade darker.
Depending on what type of light hits it, I guess. Okay, so we see there's the tall valve covers that they put on it, and yeah, they are pretty big.
Yeah, the original shroud's gone, but I do have several original shrouds for the car. Also on the build sheet, it mentions about the coolant reservoir sending unit, but this is just the way it came from probably 30 some years of sitting in a barn. The tag on the rear of the car shows that the last time it was actually titled was 1999.
1999?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, Bill, obviously I see here you have a whole bunch of cars. Mm-hmm. Are you a Chevelle guy? Is that what you kind of started with, or what did you start with?
I started with the 72 El Camino in the back of the garage. It was my first car when I was 16.
You mind if we take a look at that?
Sure. This was my first car when I was, actually Dad bought it when I was 14. And Dad kind of favored the 73 SS stripes. And so he ordered a 73 SS stripe kit and painted it. And I kept this paint scheme all these years just because it's just different. It's just something different. Originally, it was a 307 two-barrel.
Okay.
So it was really not much of anything, you know. It wouldn't even get out of its own way. I even tried to blow it up because Dad said, you can't put another motor in it till it blows up. So, but the 307 just wouldn't blow up. And then, like I said, there's a Protecto plate, owner's manual Protecto plate.
So it was just basically a plain Jane,
Just a plain
307
Jane.
El Camino.
Yeah.
Is there something that drew you specifically into the El Camino? Was it just something that just was available, or how did you end up?
I think
with
it was the challenge to compete with Camaros, Novas, and Chevelles with something that was considered a truck or a mullet. You know, it was kind of either liked them or you hated them.
Sure.
There wasn't no in between. These magazines, I was fortunate enough to get some magazine coverage. At Super Chevy, I broke it in Indy in 1985, but upon breaking it, this was the burnout prior to breaking it, and they actually did a centerfold for some coverage there.
That is really neat.
Hemmings magazine did an article with 23 owners who still had their first car, and then down here in this lower portion is this little story. This was at a Unionota local high school parking lot. We did a burnout. I was young then. This was a very long time ago, but it was really cool to get some coverage. Just knowing that, you know, I still had my first car. And
Now, I'm not seeing an engine in here currently, but I do see engines all around the shop here. I mean, what do you kind of focus on here? I mean, are you an engine builder? Do you just kind of tinker?
Yeah, I'm an engine builder and have been for many years.
Okay. And do you get that from like your father or
dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad was a super stock drag racer in the early mid-60s into the 70s, and was good friends with Grumpy Jenkins. We would go visit Grumpy in Malvern, Pennsylvania for a family vacation. That was our vacation, to go see the Grump and hang out with the Grump, so it was pretty cool.
What is the engine you're currently working on for this car? Because we see the hole here.
Yeah.
Originally, what will be the final form, I guess you would say?
Well, I've got an all-aluminum 632 Big Chief engine. It's the long block's done. I'm in the process now. I'm going to be doing some machine work on this top for these carburetors. These carburetors are 1550 CFM.
Those are big boys, huh?
Yeah, and the engine's all aluminum. So it's going to have more horsepower in it than it's ever had installed. This is going to be street legal.
Street legal?
Street
Okay.
legal.
Barely street legal.
Barely, yeah. The fuel cost will be a little high, but it's all for fun. The transmission is a very nice a 10 clutch pack Power Glide. Jim Skinner built for me in Circleville, Ohio. Really good transmission man, drag racer. It's going to be neat. It's going to be right at 1,300 horsepower.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back and talk about the Yenko over here. And then you said that you had some sort of Pontiac that I might not be familiar with. Is it this one or is it the black one over here?
It's this white one. This is
okay.
a Mecum Trans Am. And Dennis Mecum was a dealership owner in Glendale, Arizona. And he did to these Firebirds kind of like what Don Yenko did back in the day to the early Camaro. He would bring these cars in, and this is actually the build sheet. VIN numbers down here, and also it shows delivered to Mecum at Pontiac Glendale Avenue in Arizona.
Forgive me, but how many of these cars did they make? Because I don't think I've ever seen another one of these cars in my entire life.
They made supposedly 300, but I've not seen any numbered cars over 225. They have a serialized placard on this console that shows what number of car it was.
So this is 138?
138.
Now, did these go faster, or like what was the benefit to buying one of these over just a regular Firebird of the era?
The handling characteristics. They put Coney struts on the front, travel limiters on the back, four-wheel disc brakes, positive traction, a lot of aluminum, aluminum drive shaft, aluminum front bumper support. Even the hood is aluminum on this car, which they are very rare. It was called a T45 option. They were available for the Crossfire cars in 82 and 83. Mm-hmm. And then the aluminum hood went away really quick. But GM retooled and did a few hoods for the Firehawk models that came out 90, 91. They started a Firehawk series, limited production number of cars. So a magnet won't stick to this hood.
Is there a way to tell if we open the hood up that it is aluminum?
Yes, they do have identification. In the upper corner here, they have the letter A right here embossed, a raised letter A, and then this is your date when it was stamped out. But my dad actually was the one that discovered that this was aluminum.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a clue. I got the car from Georgia.
Okay.
The car was in Georgia when we found the car, and it was all primer. So with the help of the owner, I traced it back to Colorado, 3 owners. It went from Colorado to Georgia and then to Ohio.
And I'm assuming, are these one-off wheels, or is it just the hubcaps or the center caps?
The caps are. The wheels are a turbine wheel. They had to be ordered. If you wanted those kind of wheels, they had to be ordered.
What about the Yenko over here? Do you have, is this any particular reason you wanted to build a Yenko clone, or it's just cool because they are cool?
Yeah, it was originally a 6-cylinder car by the trim tag, so it wasn't really worth an incredible amount, a lot of money.
Blank canvas.
As a 6-cylinder, yeah, it was a blank canvas, exactly. So we chose to just do our own recreation. We've got a 68 427 4-bolt main block, 68 842 aluminum closed chamber heads, 410 rear. My son got his feet wet drag racing, and that's at the age of 16.
Really?
And he could back up some of my passes, so I could see he was well on his way to, so enjoying this kind of stuff.
Your son got to drag race this car right here when he was 16 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is pretty neat. And for those that aren't familiar, you can see right here, it's a 68 Super Yenko Camaro. Of course, this is a clone, but it's done fairly well. I mean, we got the Pontiac wheels down here too, which I absolutely love. And that hood, I mean, if you're a Camaro guy, you kind of know when you see that hood what you're in for underneath. Mm-hmm. So we made it here to Wild Bill's place, and what should we expect behind these doors, Bill?
Oh my gosh, anything from intake manifolds, the ring and pinions, the blocks, cranks, just you name it, it's here. There's a lot here.
Well, cool. Let's go see what we could find.
Okay.
You lead the way, I'll follow you,
All
Bill.
right.
I got a flashlight in my pocket here, and
Got some
we'll
lights
see
going.
exactly what we stumble upon.
First thing you see when you walk in is literally hundreds of intake manifolds.
Yeah, he does.
Ford, Chevrolet, Mopar, AMC, Chrysler, just everything. Just even 409, you know, the old school tri-Y Ford stuff.
And they're all labeled here too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a Pontiac section there. And they're literally every make and model of Edelbrock intake manifolds probably represented here.
Well, I know that we're not going to be able to see everything in this building, but why don't you take us to a couple different places of some stuff that you want to show us?
Sure. Over here we have a lot of blocks and cores. I'll point out a couple blocks that we have. Here's a CTX 4-speed block for 1970 Chevelle, which is popular. It's a K2869 date.
Okay.
Here we have a couple of 1971 854 blocks for the 71 Super Sport, 396 402 combo. Over here we have a April of 1971 512 casting block for the LS6 454 for 1971.
That's a good block.
Yeah, so there's a lot of muscle car era stuff here, and there's also the mid-70s hot rod stuff for the cast iron too, like 454 blocks.
What are all these
blocks.
rally wheels over here?
The majority of these rally wheels are truck wheels, and there's 5-lug, 6-lug, and 8-lug all represented here.
Oh, I see the truck wheels. Yeah.
And then you'll notice right here's one single YA 69 Chevelle wheel.
Mm-hmm. Was he more of a Chevelle guy or a Camaro guy, or?
Bill was the Camaro guy from the get-go. His street cars back in the 80s were 9-second street cars, which were featured in Super Chevy magazine. Very, very well known.
Well, I see a whole bunch of rear ends over here. Are there any 12 bolts or anything, or?
Yes. A lot of the 12 bolts in this section are for the second gen Camaro in 1970 specifically. 342 positive traction, 331, 308s. We had a lot of first gen 12 bolt Camaro rear ends, and they have, done parted ways and found new homes. So we hope we can just find homes for some of these other parts and bring them back to life again. That's the goal, just to see them go to a good home.
It's second gen stuff. And what's like the price on a block here if someone's interested in a big block?
An average 454 block you can pick up for $454. It's $1 a cubic inch for the usual old school junkyard price.
Don't sound bad.
No, the muscle car blocks that are more directed toward the muscle car, like the 70 block and stuff, would we would get a little more money out of those. But for the most part, you can get you a block for $500. Go buy a 496 crank kit, and you got a 600 horsepower engine, basically pretty cheap.
Well, I guess we're going to go through here.
Yes, got more engine blocks stored in here. These engine blocks are 396s for the 65 Chevelle Camaro, or 65 Chevelle, 65 Impala, and the 961 block was used 65 and into 1966.
And everything is labeled. That makes it easy then, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of work, I'm sure, but even if you see the cast iron intake manifolds back here on the back wall.
There's 57 Chevy, yeah.
A guy that's trying to restore a Corvette, trying to find a correct cast iron intake, could likely find it here if it's a 65, 6 or 7 small block Chevy. So a lot of these intake manifolds.
How did he gather all these parts?
Bill was an avid drag racer, but he's also a swap meet guy. He liked attending the swap meets, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Michigan. He traveled all over with a box truck and an enclosed trailer, taking his stuff with him and probably bringing more stuff home. You know how it goes.
you have any Muncie setups? Are they all T10s or?
The Muncies are all been sold to a fella, and we do have about 10 or 12 aluminum case Super T10s left.
Okay. Wow, this is pretty neat. What section is, it looks like a Camaro seat right there.
Uh-huh. The Camaro bottom. We have a lot of Camaro parts. We have clutch pedals and Z-bars and carburetors. That 327 there is dated 68 for someone looking for a 68 327.
I just don't know how you accumulate so many intakes. I mean, he must have bought every single one that he saw at a swap meet for sure.
There's a lot here. There's a lot here.
I don't even know. Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of intakes here. If you have a small block Chevy and you need an intake manifold, look no further. Let me turn on another light here. We'll get back here in another section.
Okay.
This is an intake you don't see a lot of anymore. It's an old school Scorpion intake, and we probably have 3 or 4 of them still here.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of neat to see the old school stuff come back to life again.
Now, what section are we in over here? Because it looks like there's more rear ends.
A lot of rear
ring
ends.
and pinions.
Yeah, a lot of first gen rears for Chevelle, or the Chevelle, I should say. There's a lot of Chevelle rears here, 68 to 72. We are now sold out of the 65, 6, and 7 12-bolt rear ends. They're all gone.
Okay, looks like some center lines or some.
A lot of front
welds
wheels
down
for
here.
drag racing.
Yeah, those people, I sell every set I get of those.
Yeah, a lot of neat stuff. It's like a trip back in time, just visiting, walking around and seeing a lot of the stuff. A lot of our 12-bolt gears are marked and date coded. So the guy looking for a specific date coded 12-bolt rear end, you know, for instance, you'll see a box and it may have a date on it. And
Those are 456s.
And the gears are from 308 clear to 538. And we got gear ratios for just about everything. Corvette, 10-bolt, 12-bolt, Mopar, 8 3/4, 8-inch Ford, 9-inch Ford.
And you got all the blow-proof bell housings back here.
Blow-proof bell housings for a lot of makes and models, from small block Mopar to big block Mopar, small block Chevy, big block Chevy, Chevy 2, also the Tri-5 Chevys. We have the P-case posi traction units on the shelf for some of the Tri-5 Chevys and the early Impalas. The P-case units were kind of desirable and stronger than the regular open rear ends. We have Mopar pumpkins and 8-inch and 9-inch Ford pumpkins. The inventory's still quite a bit of stuff here. A lot of aftermarket stuff, Hurst shifters and quarter sticks.
Looks like you got a whole bunch of gaskets over here.
Gaskets. Here's a few sets of
Oh, that's cross ram
factory
stuff.
GM NOS cross ram gaskets. And there's multiples. I think we have 8 or 10 sets.
Holy cow,
Those
you don't
are
see
really-
those at all.
Don't see those at all, let alone a stack of them. These are old cast iron small block Ford that a lot of guys trying to restore the old Mustangs back to their original condition. These are dated, you know, and marked and stamped and so on for the factory 289s, 302s.
Well, is it just this section right here? Does it have more stuff than this, or?
There's an
guess it-
entire basement
I
under
guess
the
it
home.
goes all the way up
There's
top there too.
Yeah, there's a loft that's probably 30 feet wide, 80 feet long.
Okay.
And then there's also the underneath of the home, the full basement, 8-foot ceilings, probably 50 feet wide, 60 feet long.
Well,
also.
let's go see if we can check those out.
Sure.
So now we're in the bottom of the house.
Awesome. Yes, sir. This is a honey hole in itself. Crankshafts, sheet metal, cylinder heads.
Got some tri-power intakes over here, it looks like.
Yep, Pontiac Tri-Power.
Yeah. 65 GTO.
And even earlier, the 63 with the different bolt pattern, the earlier.
Man, I'm amazed he just labeled it all, because if that wasn't like that, you
Back
guys
here,
would be pretty much out of luck.
yeah, back here we have some hoods, some original GM hoods for
Yeah,
Camaro.
flat Z28 hood.
Yes, sir.
Looks like. Is
And
it
a
original? Yeah, looks original to me.
couple Super Sport hoods. Down here, you know, they're stored away and they won't rust.
Yep. Got some door cards here. So he was a GM guy then. Is that the right way to
Yeah.
put that?
Yep.
And is there anything special? Yeah, it looks like you got some louvers in here.
Mm-hmm.
Guys got a little bit of everything. Wow.
Louvers.
Look at all of these center caps.
Crates and crates and crates of center caps. Stacks and stacks of beauty rings.
Yep.
The old high-rise big block Chevy rectangle port intakes are readily available. We have both the dated early ones, and then we have the reproduction ones as well. A lot of rectangle port cylinder heads in this section. I think at one time we had near 50, but we may be down around 30 of the double hump heads. The early ones, no accessory bolt holes, and then of course 1967 and 8 they started adding the accessory bolt holes to them.
You got any 186s or?
They have a few on the other side.
Okay. I'll let you
Yeah, sure.
show me where we're at here.
Oh, there's a few back in here. There's some new GM castings that don't even look like they've ever been used.
No, they don't, do they?
And some 370 castings, 492 castings, the 993 castings, 487 castings, 487X castings. So pretty much from 65 up through about 72, there's quite a bit of small block Chevy heads to pick from if you're looking for matching up dates.
Well, cool. I'm sure definitely somebody watching is. And if they can, if they're interested, like I said, you guys are more than welcome to reach out to Bill and ask about anything that you see in the video.
Anything. Positive traction units, distributors, pistons. A lot of the early Corvette intake manifolds are on the shelf here. The 461s, the 490s, more 490s, more 461s, 461s. So we have quite a bit of the small block intakes covered for that. A lot of piston inventory for big block Chevrolet.
Yep. Valve covers. All these are pistons, it looks like, in here too.
Pistons, harmonic balancers, valve covers. Rally wheels. There's a lot of rally wheels on this back wall. A lot of different codes from, just YW for an example, XG, DG.
Look at all these. Well, they look like all T10s back in there, don't they?
Yeah, there's a good probably 10 or 12 Super T10s. They're the aluminum case versions. The M22s, unfortunately, are gone. They've been picked over.
Okay.
But date-coded flywheels, date-coded stuff, pistons, gears, again, more gears. 373, May 1968. So you're going to see here a lot of gearboxes with the dates on them because they have the original GM gears taken out and probably went to a drag gear, likely, and Bill probably installed a drag gear for them.
Well, it looks like you did have some good wheels here. Here's the XT Black Copa wheels. They still got them back here?
Yep, that's where they would have been.
Is that, you know better than I would. Where would these?
They would have probably been on this side.
On this side?
Yeah, well, or marked on that side. Over here's the DB, YS, DB, and DF coded rally wheels.
FWs.
FWs at the bottom.
Is this one? You think they're gone, or you think he still has them?
It's just one of them things where we just would have to peel back the layers and look. There's a FW.
You hold this real quick.
Sure.
Nope. I didn't know if these black wheels down here were anything. Well, I guess they're not black. Yeah. No, we could go through
Those even got the caps and rings on them, don't they?
Yeah, what do they don't say nothing on them though.
Ah. Interesting.
Yeah.
We might want to pop off. Let me
They
see
look a little deep, but I mean...
Let me see if anything's marked on the back side. Over here on the wood.
Okay.
No, not a marking one. Interesting.
Well, yeah, that's definitely cool stuff.
So they could be.
I don't know if this one's got any... You can't tell what's on those at all. Huh. Oh, you could spend hours and hours and hours here, and I'm sure we're passing up really good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have all day to kind of be here to go through all these parts, but I'm sure that someone probably does. And what do we stumble upon in this section?
Well, this is nothing but, both sides, both shelves here is nothing but rectangle port high-performance Chevy cylinder heads.
It's a big block stuff.
Big block stuff. And we start at the very top. We have the 208 castings that are dated 1965 for the Z16 and then the Corvettes. Also, the 858s, they started casting in 1966 for the 66 Chevelle, 66 Corvette. And they moved into the 840 castings. So then we have a couple layers of 840 heads, different dates. And then down to the 291 heads for the LS6.
Yep, that's the ones I'm familiar with.
On the LS6 Chevelle. So there's a couple rows of LS6 heads. And we have a couple pair of 391 heads for the 67 Corvette. These are April of 67. And the 391s were on the Tri-Powers, I'm pretty sure.
That's really cool stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple pair of 391s, more 291s. More 840s.
And what's something like these run?
They're usually around 1,000 a head, just roughly.
Just roughly.
The 208s are a little more, and also the 391s are a little more.
Okay.
But for most part, the 858s, the 840s, and the 291s, $2,000 are going to get you a pair about pretty much any date you'd want.
If you're interested in any of the parts that you've seen down here in the basement or in the barn, you're more than welcome to give Bill a call.
Sure.
If you guys found value in this video, you're more than welcome to give us a thumbs up or a subscribe on the channel. Bill, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
For inviting me down.
Thanks for coming.
Good looking at your LS6 and just knowing that this stuff is here, because you can't always find this stuff on eBay.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you have to know someone like Bill that has a whole warehouse full of stuff to find the parts that you need to get your car going.
That's the goal, is to reunite the parts to the guy that's maybe missing that intake manifold, or that carburetor, or wanting just the right dated gear and flywheel, maybe a part that you don't even see in the car, but you just want that
just for the reinsurance.
Yeah, you just want it that correct.
Completely understand.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Again, my name is Parker with Backyard Barn Finds. Give Bill a call if you're interested, and you guys have a great day.